I'm back. I'm back on this live stream. The previous one got interrupted because the customer came with drywall and stuff, and it was time for me to unload it. So now I'm gonna continue by checking the ceiling, and I'll put the laser level and I'll project the line so then I can see where the top plate should be attached on the top, and then I will simply start cutting holes on the ceiling where I need to attach my screws. So then I can see that there is no wiring, no nothing, because when you put the wall in a house that you don't know, that you haven't wired, that you have no access to before photos, before drywall was installed, it's always better to check it, because you don't know what you might face behind this drywall. You might think that it's all good and you can just put the screws and you can run it into the wire that goes from one light to another, and then you can create a possible fire hazard, which is not okay. So I will start by just making those marks and cutting the holes like I did on the walls already. So thank you for joining, everyone. I'm just continuing to frame this wall. I had to stop because the customer came. So you can see that I have that line projected on the ceiling, and I'm gonna be cutting some of the holes on the ceiling for me to see that there is no wiring. So then when I attach it to the ceiling, I don't make any mistakes and any holes that might penetrate through some communications like wiring or plumbing, because you never know if it's like, especially it was a flip home, so somebody fixed it and then the customer bought it, and there is so many interesting things that could be discovered behind the drywall, and like, you don't want to have any problems, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. If you want to let me know where you're watching from, which state, which country, just feel free to drop in the chat. So I'm just holding that piece of baseboard, which is exact width as the actual 2x4, and everywhere where I have the joists, I already marked it, and I'll be cutting the holes so I can see the actual joist, and I can also see that there is no wire. So then I can simply put my 2x4 and have no surprises. Thank you for joining, everyone, guys. Like and subscribe. Just double tap that screen to give this live stream a like, and also consider subscribing as well. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me well. I have my microphone installed, and I'm hoping that you can hear me well. So let's continue. I use my stud sensor to find the studs, but the joists on the ceiling. But you can also simply press with your hand, and usually it's gonna flex where you have no stud, and where you have a stud, it will stop flexing, which is, I can see somewhere right here, and I can turn on my my stud sensor and start tracking for that stud, which I assume you see this red light. It indicates where the stud is. So I'll just mark it right here. And you can also double check it just by knocking. And if you feel that it's kind of different sound, it means that you have a stud there. Again, you can push with your hand and it's gonna flex in between the studs. So sometimes it's obvious and you can see how bumpy it is. So I also like to run the stud sensor from another side to see. Yeah, it shows that there is something somewhere right here. So anyways, when you cut it, it's much easier for you to see what's behind. So I already made the marks with my laser, so I know where is the projection of my wall. But now I'm just marking those squares. And also I can see the tape that is bubbling, so it means that the joint somewhere here, and it means that I have the stud also somewhere here, which I can say it's somewhere right here. And let's check with our sensor. You see, just like I said, it's exactly here. So we're gonna mark it, and I'm gonna place that piece again, and I'm gonna trace it, and I'm gonna cut it in future, so then I can see the actual joist and make sure there is no wire, because we have two lights here on one side, we have two lights here, we have an outlet, we have another outlet, there are switches, so you never know how they ran the wiring. It might be anywhere, and when you use the screws that can go through and make the hole and penetrate your wiring, it's always better, especially after you frame it. It's all gonna be covered with the frame and then drywall, so there will be no problems. Thank you for joining, everyone. Double tap that screen, guys, to give this live stream a like, and subscribe to the channel as well to see the future live streams and other videos as well. So okay, I have just few more sections here to be checked. Again, I'll just press it and I can see another stud somewhere here. I'm gonna also check it with my stud sensor, and yeah, it's right here. Sometimes it's hard for that thing to catch the stud because of the texture, but I can tell that it's somewhere here by pressing on it and by this sound, by the noise. So it is right here. I can say that for sure. So I'm gonna mark it too, and there will be another one next to the wall. And that wall used to be exterior wall. So I already checked, and it has a lot of wood behind it. So even if we have wires, it's gonna be behind that wood. So okay, we got that stuff. I'm gonna mark it too. And we have just one more hole in the corner to be marked, because usually you have the studs right in the corner there. So you might not be able to see me well here because the camera won't catch kinda so close to the wall, but I'll try to make it quick, guys. You can let me know in the chat where you're watching from. which state, which country. So this wall is designed to pretty much cover that laundry area and have some surface maybe for different kind of cabinets to be installed on the top there in the corner, or maybe shelves. And also there will be an opening right here which will be like 30 inches wide. You always want to make sure that the stuff that you need to carry in and carry out will fit. So this is where it's about 27-inch every machine, so should fit perfectly. And we have the tile here on the floor. I won't be drilling through that tile. I'll just use the polyurethane liquid nails that will adhere since it's quite textured, and then I'll be using each stud pretty much to press the kind of jacket and have it support all this stuff. So should be good there. So now guys, we're gonna start trimming those holes. I'll start from here, and I'll probably remove the laser since it's pretty expensive thing, and you never want to mess it up and drop it or hit it with your feet. So I'm gonna use just a multi-tool for it. I'm gonna double check the chat really quick. Guys, give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and subscribe as well. So now let's cut those holes. So every time you don't want to go all the way through, like as soon as you feel that you went through the drywall, stop, because you never know what you have behind, and that multi-tool blade can also go through the wire. And if, let's say, somebody just put the wire and they just lay on the drywall. So let's start. It might be a little bit noisy, guys. You can bring the volume down, but it is what it takes when you deal with noise and construction. Okay, we got our first hole, and let's see what we have here. So we have insulation lane, no wires here, and my main concern was that section when you have the corner. So I'm gonna pretty much pull that paper, and because I want to check what we have here. Okay, so there used to be an old ceiling that I can see, and it's like already the roofing kind of material, so there is no wire. What I needed to know that I can attach my screw here and have no problems. So I see that there should be no issues for me whatsoever. I think most likely they'll fall, but anyways, now we know that we have a stud. So I cut this hole and I was able to see that stud here, another one there. So I just place it back in place. Let's cut another one. There is a chance that it will fall down, that piece, but I don't care. Like it can be installed without any of them. We have the second one, and like I said, the previous one just fell. So that is absolutely okay. So you see the screw, and the screw, it's a sign that we are at the right place. So I will probably I won't be putting those pieces back. Now I need to get another drill bit, so then I can unscrew that Phillips screw. I'm gonna check the chat really quick. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Double tap that screen for me to give it a like, and consider subscribing. If you have any questions, you can ask me. You can feel free to ask. I do this kind of work in Tennessee, Tri-Cities, and if someone needs house improvement, you can ask me questions. Maybe I can help you to prevent you from making any problems and future mistakes. Okay, so we can see that there is some insulation here, but there is a board as well. So just my goal is to check and make sure there is no wires. So there's no wires here, at least where I can put my fingers. So I'll mark for myself so I know that I can install my screw somewhere here, and then I won't run into any wiring and nothing like that. Also, let's say if you need to run the wiring to your wall, maybe a switch or anything else at the outlet, you can always use those access holes to fit your wire through. Also, if you need to add a switch and you don't happen to have any way to run your wiring, but you have switch that already operates the lights behind it, like it is here. So we're gonna use something that's called smart switch. You can simply disconnect one of the switches that you have there, put that smart switch instead, and then connect another smart switch and just put the electrical box for the drywall in your wall, and then you will use your phone to connect them. You connect them, and then you have two switches that work pretty much remotely, and you don't have to have any wiring, anything else. And like I said, try always not to go all the way through, because you never know what you might have. I know that I have one screw that is holding it right here, so I'll try to shake it. Yep, just like that. And I know that I have also the board right behind. Okay, so was a drywall joint here. Now I'm gonna remove those two screws. And I know that some might say, like, you kind of go the long way, but the thing is, if you go through the wire, and then your customer can have the fire because of you are so fast, and it's not a good deal at all. So, okay, so what I'm gonna tell you, at least that thing, that sensor, when I marked it, it shows me exact center of the stud, so it's pretty centered. And they pretty much use 2x4s that they put. So let me see, with actual length of the screw, we have, so with the drywall, when I run the screw, I won't even go through that stud on the top. Hi, Team Carol. Hi, thank you for joining. So, I mean, I just seen a lot of crazy stuff when it comes to flip homes. So I just want to make sure I might see it as a wood using my sensor. Then I open, and then somebody run the PVC drain that is laying on the ceiling. So that's why I'm just problems. And for me, it's just to spend maybe an hour and check all that stuff, but it saves a lot. Okay, and another piece of lumber, which is exactly what I needed. And I'm gonna put my fingers, and yeah, where I can feel it, I feel no stuff. I'll mark it right here, letting myself know that I can safely run the screw, and it will be no problems for me whatsoever. So that stuff I haven't marked it, so I'll do the same here and here, and this is the mark for my screw. Perfect. We have another 3 holes to cut, and we'll be ready to start Okay, let's pry this one out and see what we got. Okay, the same stuff. It's a drywall butt joint here. Okay, and another screw. Okay, so let's see what we have. We got lumber almost all the way here, but enough for me to put my hand, stick my fingers, And again, make sure there is no wiring, because we have that light there and one light here, and it might be exactly here, and I want to make sure, like I said, there is no nothing. So I'm gonna grab my pencil and I'm gonna mark it. So over here we won't have any problems whatsoever. Then I have another one and another one, and that's it. One more piece, guys. Let's pull it. Okay. And there is no wiring, no nothing as well. And I know where we have the stud for sure. Because like I said, I don't want to think that it's a stud and it's been some kind of pipe or something with the stud sensors. It might be the case. So the very last one, guys. Thank you for joining, everyone, for staying tuned. Give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and consider subscribing. So I'm gonna cut one more hole. Okay. So the last one. Here is our stud, which I can see clearly. And I can also put my hand and make sure there is no wiring behind it, because sometimes it might be the case. Okay, so from now we are good. We are good to go. And I'll mark for myself to see where I have the stud. So pretty much right here. And I can put some of these drywall pieces back in place. I have some of the screws already. I'll just put one screw and put that piece back. I don't even think that it's necessary, to be honest. This one went right here. Okay. It will stay the way it is. Okay, so let's start, guys. I'm gonna be using my impact drill and the yellow decking screws, which are considered like exterior grade. So I chose the most straight lumber from Lowe's. I'm gonna set my laser back so I can see exactly where it should go, but pretty much I was cutting the drywall, and this is the side that it just needs to meet with this stud. But for visual purposes, I will set myself the laser back in place, just like that. That's it, and now I need just to catch the opposite side, just like so. Perfect. So as you can see, each one of them, the edge is exactly on my line. Thank you for staying tuned. Guys, give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and subscribe as well. So let's start by putting our first 2x4. So this one pretty much have the screws that I need to put here, and then I can put some more screws in my pocket. And have them ready. Just want to show you the screws that I'm using. This is just yellow exterior grade 3-inch, I guess, screws. So I'm gonna grab that first piece. Actually, don't even think that I need step ladder, but I know for sure that it will be easier for me with a step ladder. So I'm gonna drive that first screw in there, and it successfully split the lumber because it was too close to the side, but that's not a big deal. At least I have one screw now that is supporting that wood. Now I can see all of my marks, like this one, and I can run the screw. Perfect. So now with these two being in place, it won't go nowhere, and you just want to go like one by one. If your lumber is not straight, in my case, I know that it's perfectly straight, so I'll put just like so. Perfect. It's soaked right in. It's pretty easy to frame kind of wall like that because the ceiling is low. And if you do that without seeing anything and knowing what you have, you can easily just go through something that you would never assume might be there. Unless you have the photo of the wall before it was drywalled on the rough stage, but other than that, so because that stuff tends to split, I'll probably kind of toenail it from the side, since I know that I have the lumber here as well. Should be good like that. And then there is no need for making one more at the center, just like so. Perfect. Okay, so we have two here, two more here, and one more there. And I can feel that it is slightly off. Now it's perfect. Okay. Perfect. So, and as you can see, all these cuts, they will be covered with the drywall, so they won't be noticeable. And everything is attached, so nothing will fall, nothing will be installed just into the drywall, because sometimes, like I said, those stud finders that might be funky, they might show something really weird. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for your support, guys, and consider subscribing and like this live stream as well by double tapping the screen. The wall that will separate this laundry room from of the home, and it was a flip home, so I didn't know if there was any wiring that I might penetrate with the screws. So before installing that, I cut the openings and I checked each stud. I made sure there is nothing. Now we started finally installing our studs. So I'm gonna be using this magical box made by DeWalt that I like for cutting studs and stuff like that, because it has a notch here and it's also easy to set anything you want on it. Now I'm gonna grab my tape, measure the piece that we need for the top, just like so, and it is 45 and 3/16. 5. Okay, so now I'm gonna just use a circular saw with a square just to make it fast. I have this cobbled saw, which is, I like it. I have different saws, but this is one of the saws I like to use. So I just set the 90-degree square to it, and The blade is not quite fresh, but the saw itself is pretty powerful, so I have no problems with it. Uh, let's set that piece in place and see. Yeah, it fits perfectly. I think it's even tight. Yeah, it's just great. So I can see my mark next to the wall, know where my vertical is gonna lead. So, and I see my mark for the stud on the ceiling. Soaked cladding. And that stuff, I know that it's not gonna hold well here unless I will toe nail it. So I'm gonna run a few more screws in this stuff. And now when it's nice and straight, I can just run a few screws like that. Just push it. And I'll do the same from this side. So you start it, then you can angle it, and then you go here. Okay, and now I'm gonna add some extra screws on each side as well. One here, and one more here. That way I know that it's not gonna go anywhere. Perfect. Okay, so we are done with our top plate, and hi David, you always do a good job, my friend. Thank you, David. Thank you, Uncommon Woman. Thank you for joining, everyone. Yeah, this is the way how you build your is by doing things right. So then people can trust your work and know that even if nobody's watching, you'll do things the way they should be done. So guys, give this live stream a like and subscribe to the channel as well. So let's start putting our bottom plate. I can actually set one piece right here in place. We need to clean it first, guys. It became slightly messy here, so I'm gonna clean it really quick. Yeah, that floor is extremely sloped. There was just a ground over here, so whoever fixed that floor, I don't know why they did it sloped, not level. So because we have the tile on the floor, you can always drill the tile, drill your stud, or use like a nail tool and just like with a powder and just nail through after you pre-drilled your tile. But we won't be doing none of that stuff over here, since there is no load on this wall, no nothing. I'll be just using polyurethane liquid nails that will adhere to this tile like crazy. So it's gonna be a door over here, the opening, 32 inches wide rough. If they decide to go with the door, so I vacuumed all that stuff. Now we're gonna use our 2x4s, and like I previously said, I know that each of them is perfectly straight. I went to Lowe's and I checked each one, and I know that this is just the best piece that I can ever get. And because there is no contact with actual concrete, I'm not using pressure treated here because it sits on the tile. And also I want to adhere it by using adhesive. So with pressure treated, it won't really stick. It will shrink over the time, and it has the chemicals that still needs to go out. So what I will do right here, I won't be cutting it for the opening yet. I'll run the full piece here, and uh, then after it's ready, what I'll do, I actually might need, because this floor is just too crooked. Yeah, it's just sometimes I should have got at least one of them like that, so then I can get. So we'll see. Yeah, it's just too crooked, guys. Okay, so what I will do, I'm gonna mark with a pencil this laser line, so then I can see it and nothing will stop me from seeing it. Okay, so now when I see it perfectly, yeah, I will actually cut it. Usually I just run the straight piece, you frame everything, and then I just trim the bottom. That way you have nice and straight line. Because when you use two pieces, sometimes all that stuff tends to go not the way you want it to go. So I'm thinking about maybe using the piece and just, yeah, I'll probably do like that. So I'm gonna mark my opening now. So we have that piece, and I'll cut one more piece that needs to go here. Yep. Yep, just like that. Let's cut this one. I just vacuumed everything, so I'll cut it from here, so all that sawdust will go. Maybe I'll just move my butt to this side, and I'll cut it right here. So then for here, I'll just mark it. I won't be holding my square. Let me see, guys, the chat. Whoa, shop vac. I do have quite few of them, but it's always a challenge. So thank you everyone for joining. Like and subscribe to the channel. So let's cut this piece in place. Just like that. Hopefully we can glue this one right away. I just want to make sure that it fits here. Uh, yes, it does. It does fit here. I will also make my marks so I can see where it should stay. Just like so. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'll be using that stuff for the bottom. So it's a Loctite premium polyurethane. So that thing is tacky like crazy, and it's pretty much designed for, it's polyurethane based, fast curing, versatile. So you see it says like wood, OSB, drywall, brick, concrete, masonry, stone, marble, granite, metal, vinyl, PVC, foam board. So I even used that stuff to put the backsplash porcelain on the plywood at some point. And if you use leveling system, it works just fine. So what I'll do, I'll put it right on the back. I'll make sure that it's nice and wavy. So when it pushes, it will space all that uneven floor. So we got that piece. And it's always, they always say when they sell you the gun that it's like drip free, and no matter how much you pay, anyways, it ends up being not drip free. So it's all just a marketing. Some of them they are better, some of them are not as good as we might think. So that thing will go in place. I'll just press it down, and that's it. So I know that that stuff won't go nowhere, especially after we'll press it with the studs. So now I'm gonna measure where my opening should be, and it should be 32 inches wide rough. So I'm gonna leave some space for the casing, which is 3.5. I guess I can use the actual piece over here. I'll use that piece. So that's the casing, that's the door jamb. And then the actual door jamb. And then 32 inches. So I think I'll move it even a little bit more. And I'll make it 6 inches from the wall. And then I'll do 32 inches for the opening. 32. And I'll also mark it so I know where to put my adhesive, where to not put it. Then I'll grab the piece of 2x4, which is right here. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll mark, so I'll have my double stud in here. 1 and then 2. And then the same stuff for here. 1 and 2. So I can see it better visually. So so now I think we can cut that tiny piece in here on the top and start putting the pieces on the wall here first. So where it's at, where is that piece? It's right over here. So this one is gonna be 4 and 5/8. Four and 5/8. Okay. A little too high. Now it's good. Let's set this tiny piece in place. Where do I have my impact? It's right here. Perfect. 1, 2. I'm using my another laser to project the line on the ceiling just to see where it's gonna be. So it's gonna be right there. So I need to adjust a little bit. I need to adjust my measurements a little bit because the door openings are at the 82 and pretty much my casing shouldn't interfere with none of that stuff. So for me to have it so after I put the casing, it should be next to that thing and go nice and flush. So the casing is gonna be like that. It's better to always move more than less to have some room. So this is my casing. I'll leave some gap in here. This is my door jamb. This is casing. So this is the door jamb. Pretty much the stud should go right here. So if we have one stud, and then we have another one. So pretty much, yeah. I'm just gonna simply remove that piece. I forgot about that stupid curb, but that's okay. I will cut it flush. See the chat. Thank you for staying tuned, everyone. Okay, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna measure one piece over here to sit right here. This one is gonna be 82. 82 and 3/4. Where's my pencil? Right here. 82 and 3/4. Just like that. Yeah, I hate when that stuff is hanging down, especially when you cut. It becomes dangerous if the saw can grab your stuff, then it's no longer good. Okay, so now I can pretty much remove my laser and better put it somewhere here. Better put it somewhere right here. Just like this. So now I'm gonna just dry fit that kind of stuff. And this is the actual line. Okay. So with that thing in place, the casing, so I can put the door jamb. It will be like that, and the casing should be right here. Right? Yeah, it should be exactly where we need it to be. So now I'm gonna measure from here to the bottom. It's 82 and 1/4. 82 and 1/4. So pretty much, yeah, I'm gonna cut that piece. $82 and 1/4. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so pretty much we can adhere the bottom as well. So we have two planks over here that's gonna be pressing, and that's down. This one is gonna be a little harder to remove, but you can just bump it forward and pull it out like that. So we're gonna flip that piece, and we're gonna put our polyurethane. I'll mark where it shouldn't go, so then we don't have any extra where we don't need it to be. So nothing here and nothing here. Then I'm gonna put that little piece then we're gonna go and apply okay. I'm gonna whack them a little bit right here. Just like that. Then we're gonna drop it in place. And then we can press it down again. So that piece should go in here. just like that. This one should go over here. I'm gonna press it again. I'm gonna set it in place. So now I can start putting the screws finally. I think this one ended up being too short. I will cut a little bit more and we'll see, maybe I can use it on this end. Yeah, this is much shorter in here, so I better cut the bigger piece for that side. This one will be just fine for here. Just like that. What? Yeah, that piece will work much better for here. Yep, it will be pressed in. Okay, just perfect. Perfect. Now I'm gonna run the screws to this wall on the top. The bottom. It's good that it used to be an exterior wall, so I have pretty much a lot of lumber behind it. Got soaked right in. Thank you guys for joining. Please like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos and more live streams in the future. I'm putting some extra screws right on this side, but you should be able to see me in a few seconds on the other side, because YouTube doesn't allow you to, like, you can use horizontal streams, but people won't see them as much as they could see the vertical stream. So if it was horizontal, you'd be able to see me better, but with vertical, it's getting more discovered by other people. So this is how it works on the YouTube end. Okay, so we got that secured. That stuff is secured. I'm gonna cut another piece for here. Let's measure it together. So it was too short. And it was, I think, 82.25. So I'll cut it 82 3/8 because it was plenty room. It just needs to be pressed. And 82 3/8. And we'll see. Yeah, these studs, they're just perfect. Never buy your lumber from Home Depot. Never. It's just always crooked there. It's the same price as at Lowe's, but at Lowe's, for some reason, they give you better product. At least when it comes to lumber. 82 3/8. Guys, don't forget to like this live stream by double tapping your screen, and consider subscribing to the channel as well. So usually I cut these studs by placing my square. So then when I cut it, I have it exactly square. And I don't know why I have my eyes protection if I'm not wearing it. So sometimes it's just getting too annoying when you have those, like, headphones kind of speakers, almost like speakers. Okay, so we have that piece. Now let's check it out. So when it's pressed down, it should go right in, just like that. Yeah. Yep, that is much better. The only thing I need to see where is the actual plumb line. So then after I framed it perfectly, I can just use my gem material and box it perfectly without using anything, just knowing that I did a good job. I did a good job on the framing side. So here it is, and let's bump it back. Perfect. And let's put few screws. One, two. And it ain't gonna go nowhere. It ain't gonna go nowhere. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna have to cut the piece for here. Actually, while it's, you know what, while it's pressed, because I have to put that piece first and this one, while it's pressed, and I want to start putting another stud, so it will be 16 every 16 inches, and 16, 32. So yeah, you know what, actually, because I'm gonna have another stud here, I need to measure from here. So it should be 16 inches from stud to stud from this one, which will be right here. So 16, 32, 48, 64, and then we can pretty much divide that what we have in a half. It's 25, 22 and a half, 25, 12 and a half. Okay, it's right here. So 8. 32. Okay. So I adjusted a little bit my layout because I want to, when I install the drywall, I want to cut the edge of the drywall that is prefabricated, and I want to have nice and straight drywall there. So I gave a few inches on that as well. That, then 16, then 32, then okay. Now I want to put it's right here. I want to put one stud over here. Just to press it down. I'll probably put one piece over here. It's actually not necessary. Okay, 81 and 1/8 and 1/4. $81 and 1/4. Just like that. So here's the center of our stud on the bottom. Of course. Okay, I'm gonna set up the laser to see where it should go. Just like that. And then it should be supporting our connection right here. Just like that. Perfect. Perfect. Now we can run a few more screws here. As well. Now, when we have that in place, I can toenail some of these, that joint. I don't like the fact that it's like perfect. Now that end won't tend to go up every time. So now it's a matter of putting them in place. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. Double tap that screen to give it a like and consider subscribing. So I was using just liquid nails to bond it to the floor. It's a polyurethane. That section I will cut it after I frame the opening. There will be a door here, and pretty much that's all you need to know about it. I'm trying to push it so every stud is kind of support the ceiling, and it presses down the bottom plate so the adhesive can spread under and have more coverage for this wall. And then when it cures, next day, tomorrow, I'll come and I'll cut that bottom, and then I'll have nice straight line. So then I'll be drywalling all that stuff and then taping. And then I'll also put the box in here from gem material, and I'll put the casing on the outside, and I'll run the baseboard from both sides, and we'll paint the whole thing so it will be like it always been there. So that's it. Now I'm gonna cut those one by one where it's set. Okay. 82 and 1/8. A little bit more. Okay. 82 and 1/8. Well, this one is crooked, so I'll use it and I'll cut some of it. So I'm gonna shut off the laser, and from this point I can just measure from each stud to new stud. Yeah, this one is perfect. 82 and 1/8 of an inch. So it's actually the other side is not too good, so I will cut it. 82, 82, 82 and 1/8. Yeah, the paper started messing around. 82 and 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, now it doesn't want to go back for some reason. Thank you for joining, everyone. Consider subscribing to the channel and give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen. One to 6, 13. Let's put a few more screws into it. Since the left one is perfectly plumb, I'll just measure the same. It's the same distance from the bottom to the top. Perfect. Yep. Guys, let me know in the chat where you're watching from, which state, which country. Okay, so we have another one to go in here. So another way is just to put the spacer in between them, not to measure every time, which I'm just too lazy to make. Where it's set. And it's too small, so I won't be probably doing that. '81 and 5/8, '81 and 5/8. '81 and 5/8. Ain't going nowhere from here. Okay. Let me see the chat. Thank you for joining, everyone. Uh, Home Depot is overrated. Yeah, that's true. What are you doing? I am framing some wall for the laundry room to separate laundry room from the rest of the space. Guys, consider subscribing to the channel. Give this live stream a like, please, by double tapping the screen. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me in the chat and I will respond. Thank you everyone for joining and for staying. What about now? Can you, guys? Let me know if you can hear me now. Please drop plus in the chat if you can hear me. Do you hear me? It's better now. Okay, thank you. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just need to get myself that Bluetooth. Are you a professional carpenter or something? I won't call myself a professional carpenter, but I spent last 16 years working on the interior remodeling, mostly bathrooms, basements, and kitchens. So you kind of have to know about all that stuff when you work. And I don't do framing on a daily basis, but as you can see, I can do it when I need to do it. So is there a possibility I could reach out to you on some helpful tips? I mean, you can leave it, like ask me a question here in your, like in the chat right now, or you can, there is a, like if you subscribe and you go to the community, you can, it's like a pretty much messenger that everyone who subscribed to the channel can use to communicate. So I would suggest this way, since you already know the channel and everything, just go ahead and subscribe and you'll be able to have access, and I answer everyone, every comment that I get every time. So yeah, there is a high chance that I will answer yours, I would say. So but thank you for joining. Let me see the comments. No sound, no sound. Why doesn't he look at the phone? He doesn't know he's muted. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, I didn't know that. Sometimes I have the charger always plugged in my phone, and I have, well, I have all sorts of stuff on my head, and nobody's saying that. So I have my charger plugged, and it's like you never see that it's unplugged or something. So, and here's my microphone. I don't know. It's, you see it's shining green, so it means that it should be recording the sound. And sometimes it's just getting disconnected because it's plugged into my phone and the charger kind of plugged into it. I just need to get the one that will be using Bluetooth directly without any other necessary connection. How do you put the base down like that? Do you use certain screws into the existing floors? It depends on what you have. So uh, because I already had the tile and I didn't put the tile in place, I I just use liquid nails for the base plate, for the bottom plate, I mean. And I'm gonna show you. So, and it's something we agreed on with the customer, because this tile is, it's quite textured. I also have some grout over there, and I haven't used just regular liquid nails. I used polyurethane base. This, so this stuff is like extremely tacky, extremely liquid, and it bonds like crazy. So I know that it's not gonna go anywhere after that. But you always can, like, you can always drill through and put the anchor, put the bolt, but it's not necessary for this wall, and I'm pretty sure it will be held quite nice with that kind of stuff. So each stud I cut, it fits tight in here, and it presses down, so you can see maybe from here all this like liquid nails, they got squished out. And yeah, so now I'm gonna be working on the opening. I'll need to switch a few more things. Guys, please like, give a like by double tapping the screen, and consider channel as well. out, or if you have a questions, like I have 16 years of experience in interior remodeling overall, so I can help some of you, maybe, or maybe some of you can help subscribers that made nice and quite exact comments about what I needed to adjust, so in consideration for my future projects. So you see this wall is almost ready. I need to shut off my laser just not to get it messed up. I always like to use my hearing protection because at some point I got ear infection, and it wasn't cool to have it. Um, so after that, I try to protect my hearing at all costs. So I will remove that piece because I just put it so it's pressing down. Now I have that piece pressing down, and I'm gonna remove it. It's not gonna go anywhere. So I don't want it to fall. I'll put it into the corner. Now I'm gonna measure that stuff. For here, you can see those holes. I was cutting them to see where my lumber is. I mean 2x4, and also I wanted to make sure that there is no wiring, because my wood sensor, like stud sensor, was showing me that there is some wiring, and I just wanted to make sure that there is none. And also here, I don't know why they boxed it. Pretty much, they just put the piece of frame here and another piece of like 2x2, just to cover wallpapers. Maybe they didn't want to remove the wallpapers to finish that surface. I don't know. They could have just put the drywall. Maybe there was another reason over there on the side. But pretty much, you see, I have the wood here, and I see it in there as well. And I know that there is no plumbing. Who knows? Like maybe they ran the plumbing all the way there since it's specs. And I just want to avoid any problems. You don't want to do the wall, frame the wall, and burst the pipe, and then have another problem that you have to deal with. So especially this was like a fixer upper. I mean, you never know what's in there. Okay, so this one is 75, and I'm getting close to it. I'm almost used all my lumber, almost. So this one is 75. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me. 75. So usually I mark it, then I hold my square, and then I just move the blade where it should be, and then I use the square as my guide just to cut it. Just like that. So I also spend time checking each stud when I buy it. So then when I have small wall like that, you don't have any crooked stuff. But if it was a kind of bigger project, sometimes you won't be checking all those 100 studs or whatever. But anyways, probably I would check it. I'm just saying that I won't, but I would have checked. So okay, so now we have that. I know I already have the marks on my on my wall, and I'll just grab my nail gun and I'll load probably a few more nails in here. I mean, I have screws. I like to use both of them. Usually, like, you just have to shoot them in at the different angles, so then that stuff shifted a little bit. I can see it. Okay. Now I'm gonna shoot a few more here up to the top. Okay. Okay. You got split a little bit over here, but I'll just chisel it. So now where I had those excess kind of holes, I'll just shoot it there, just like that. So I'm shooting them at the different angles, so then they won't they won't go off at all. Okay, and now I have those few more small pieces. Actually, I'll just put this one in place. Just like so. I have the mark at the bottom. And I lined it over there, so I know it's perfectly plump. But you know what? It's always better to double check, because I'm gonna be using then casing for all that stuff. And I'm gonna use the gem material to finish the opening. So it's better to see that it's perfectly level over here. So let's see. Yeah, it is perfectly plump, because I made the mark at the bottom. Let's shoot it in place, guys. 1, 2, I'll actually shoot. I'll shoot these 2, because I know that I have the lumber in here. 1, 2, and then I'm gonna hit a few more here, just like so. 1, to. So now I'm gonna hammer them because I don't want it to block the drywall. Just like that. Okay, so this one I'll probably even put few more screws, guys, just because it's the one for opening. I don't want it to shift or anything. So I'll put one like that. And what? And I don't want to shift this one yet, so I'll probably just keep it like that. Maybe just one like diagonal, like this. Yeah, perfect. So now, maybe just a tiny bit deeper. Perfect. Okay, so now, after I put a few more studs in here, I'll have my 32-inch opening. So now, what I'll do, I'll measure 82 inches from the floor. So just in case if they want to put the standard door, and it's gonna be 82 from the lowest corner right here. Yeah, 82. Yeah, that's just crazy. 82. And what I'll do now, I'll use another laser, the small one, and I'll just project that thing all the way up. So I can transfer the mark on the opposite side. Just like that. So I'm just holding it next to the wall so it won't fall and it won't kind of move. So here is my laser mark on the other side. I know that you probably can't see it, but I can do that. So I'll mark it right here. So, and now I can have exact measurement for the top piece, just like that. So let's see what we have here. I have the liquid nails on my tape. I can say for sure, yeah, and that stuff is like super tacky. Once it's on your finger, it's on your finger. It's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, so let me see if I'm gonna put double here. Oh, it's gonna be too high. It's gonna be too high. So anyways, I'm gonna need to nail those two pieces in place, and then I'll probably use just a table saw let's see, 82. Here it's also almost 82. They're not gonna have a standard opening there. Hi, is there a possibility I can reach out? Blah, blah, blah. How do you put the base down? I already said. Then easy removing. That will be the ceiling fall. Yeah, almost. Said hi, Shannon Stewart. Hi, Shannon Stewart. Thank you for joining, everyone. Guys, give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you haven't subscribed, just press that white button in the corner of your screen and you'll be able to join us next time when we do the other live streams as well. So now I just switch to the door area, door section. That stuff. Okay, just like that. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. Or if you just like to hang out and enjoy the framing process and stuff, you can feel free to stay. I wanna check something really quick. I'll be back in a second, but while I'm doing that, you can let me know. Which country, guys, you are watching from, which state, so we can all see which countries are watching, which states. So 81 and a half, pretty much. Okay. Hi, Shannon Stewart. I think I already said, yeah. I already said. So let me see, if I put two of them, I can actually do 81 and a half, and it should be still enough. Should be still enough in case if they want to put the door, but so this is gonna be 81, 81, 3. Yeah, I think I can just double that top. And it would be just great. So I need 2 pieces, 1/8, almost quarter inch, 35 and 1/8. So I'm gonna measure that. 35, 35 and 35 and 1/8. Yeah. Just like that. Probably just mark it and cut it like that. I'm gonna double check and see how it fits here. It fits in here just perfectly. So just like that. And then I'm gonna cut another one like that. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the life of the next guy even more harder by applying some of that stuff on that thing. Just like that. I'll put some here and some here. Just because I have it. And let's shoot some nails, everyone. So I'm gonna press this one like that. This one like this, left, right. Okay, so make sure everything is nice and flush. One. I'm gonna shoot one more here. One. And one more here. Misfire. What the heck? One, two. 1, 2 here. And then you're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2. And then let's dry fit this one. I'm gonna put the rough side on the top just to make it look more sexy. Okay, just perfect. Okay, nice and flush is everything. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna put those liquid nails on this as well. A little bit here and a little bit here. And again, liquid nails is not necessary. It's just me being crazy and using them, since I use them on the bottom, and why not to use them right here. So let me put that piece in here. Okay, now when it's perfectly flush, I can shoot it as well. One, and for that not to fall on my head. One, two. I think I need to put more nails in my gun. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel by pressing the double tap on the screen. Whew. Yeah, I think I shot into my nail here, which might be out, but let's shoot a few more here. And now we're gonna add a few more to the sides. And then at some point I would have to deal with that piece. Maybe I can somehow hammer it back and pull it out. Oh, maybe like that. Just trying to use it as a reverse hammer. It's not that easy. Yep, almost. Okay, I have that pry bar that I can use and just pull it out, but now I will measure two on the sides. Yeah, that stuff is not gonna go anywhere from here. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a few more pieces here. So this is 79 and 3/8. Okay. Okay. And I actually was planning to cut these two. This one, it's way too crooked. I'll probably use one of these. Okay, let me see. It's perfect. Okay. $79 and 3/8. A little more. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Press that white button on the top of your screen that says subscribe, and also give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen as well. Okay, so now we gotta get that thing in place. So this one will go right here, right now. You see when I'm hitting, that whole thing is making the noise because it's pushing the ceiling really nice. Okay, so now Okay, let's shoot it in place. Just want to make sure it is even on both sides. Okay. Ooh. Kind of too much already, I would say. I would say that it's already too much. So let's measure this one. Let's measure this one. I'll make sure that it's all the way down. Okay. Let's see, it should be tight fit. I want to make sure that it's not too big. Which actually it might be. It might be too big. Just need to take off now the hair. Just tiny bit from here. see. Yeah, it's not short, it's not long, it's perfect. So let me, I'm gonna also, you know what, I'm gonna put some polyurethane on that thing so it will harden and be like one piece. Just like that. I'm gonna put a few screws on both sides, just also to make sure that it's gonna stick nice and well. One another. I had my battery fell down once on this DeWalt, and well, I don't like the DeWalt batteries, the way how they designed them. So when they fall, they always tend to go down exactly where the screws are, the screws that are holding the battery together, and then they break, and I have to put just a tape because the battery still works fine, but just won't hold together. So I had to tape it, and I lost the spring from that battery, so it's always tends just to fall out. I like the way how Flex makes batteries. They have tons of rubber, the screws, they are kind of recessed. So I think at some point I'll just switch to Flex because I started liking the way how they do their tools compared to that DeWalt, because they made the name and I think they just don't make enough improvements, because it's quite simple. You have the battery that fell down, then you need a new battery, and it's quite expensive, the batteries. So it's like the buckets are $5 for one bucket, and they could have sell you the like silicone or the liner that made out of silicone, so you can save money on the buckets and be able to every time use that liner and just break your like build up and all stuff that you have. But it's much more profitable to sell those buckets for $5 each than actually offering something to you that might save you some money. So it's all about this marketing and all that stuff. I think I went out of nails. I have tons of them in the car, but I'm too lazy to go there, so I'll just use the screws for the rest, since I have the screws. And there is actually nothing structural about this wall. At least it shouldn't be. It just me. I made it kind of. So now we have that wall in here in place. And whoever's gonna be using that laundry, they would have separate room here. They can hang the cabinets on the top of it, maybe put some shelving. So, and it will be just the opening. So I will put the drywall on both sides, and it will be gem material on the inside, and the casing also like a square type, like craftsman kind of style. So it will look nice, and I'll put also the same like 1x4 baseboard, and I'll cut that flush tomorrow after it cures the liquid nails, so then it won't go anywhere. So now it's just supported by the actual supported by just the solid piece at the bottom. Yeah, now that thing is supported. So if the ceiling will try to fall, it will be supported by that stuff. So yeah, we have all these pieces that I could have just shoveled in here just to have a use for it, but it's not that necessary. Yeah, it is solid enough the way it is. So you see, it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite possible. It wasn't that possible for here, so here we are. Yeah, so that ceiling was already there, just adding a wall, lol. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, guys, please give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and consider subscribing to the channel as well. So I'll cut those at the bottom tomorrow, and then I will also put the drywall. I'll be putting drywall tomorrow and taping that thing. So, and finishing the opening as well. So guys, yeah, I know that it's an overkill, but at least it's there, and it's not hard for me to drop one to make it more stronger. Now I have that nail in the corner that I just need to get out, take it out somehow. Yeah, that stuff doesn't want to go. I should have my pry tool somewhere. It's okay now, it's flush. Now it is flush. Thank you for joining, everyone, for staying tuned. Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Double tap that screen to give this live stream a like, and press that white subscribe button to stay tuned and to see the other steps of me finishing this wall and turning it into the actual nice looking space, not what it is now. Let me know in the chat, guys, where you're watching from, which state, which country. Consider subscribing to the channel to see me do that, the finishing on that wall tomorrow. I'll be putting drywall. Now I actually need to bring all the drywall inside because it was sitting outside all that time. And let me know what you all think. Like, if I had a chance, I would have used the not 8-foot drywall, the longer, just longer sheets, so I can just have 2 sheets installed and have one seam at the middle. But the customer was the one who should take care of that, and he brought 8-foot sheets, so it's okay. I can work with that. I can tape and finish everything. I like doing finishing work and taping. I know that some people, they hate it. I'm not one of them. I like doing drywall finishing. I don't do it often because it's considered a cheap job, cheap kind of work. But usually, if it's in kind of part of the project, I do it as well. And it's kind of relaxing. You don't have to think a lot. You just like do the same stuff. You just take certain steps to finish it. But I like it. So where's my dustpan? It's right here. Now vacuum everything nice and well in here after I finish, so there will be no mess. And it's not that messy, actually. What do you guys think? Should I install the drywall vertically here or just horizontal? So it is nice and clean here now. I can bring the drywall from the outside, bring it inside now. Uh, 32 by 80 door, or is it cased opening? It's actually cased opening, my man, but I framed it 32 by 80. The door probably, no, the door, if they at some point might decide to remove the casing and put the door, it will be 30-inch door, so the opening is 32. Because we agreed to do it the same width as the opening here. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot. So that was stupid question. Never mind. I think they make half-inch 4x10 sheets of sheetrock, but it's special order. You're probably right, because I asked customer and I said I have a 10-footer, so I could just run 2 sheets and just have one seam in here. And he was at Lowe's and he said they are not they're not in stock. So I was like, I want ask bring 12 footer because it's too much. So I just ended up having 8 foot sheets. So we'll see. I frame it for both ways. Like I can do vertical and I can do horizontal. We'll see. Thank you for horizontal will be easier to mod. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But anyways, then I'll have to stagger that stuff, and I'll have one small tiny seam here and one over there on the other side. So I'll think about it. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm gonna bring that. I'm gonna bring the drywall in here now since it's outside. By the way, CRS617. Consider subscribing to the channel so we can hang out in the future, and you can also be around because it's always good to have professionals on my side, and sometimes people adjust me as well, and I might learn something new. So I had happened a few times, and I was happy because it saved me from the future headaches. And this hammer, I remember I was doing one kitchen installation, and I had to remove the whole wall, and I found that hammer inside the wall. So it's quite kind of old school hammer, and I like it. I like it. It was good to find it in the wall. So it is. It's hard to see it from here, but it says East Wing USA. Yeah, I know that it's probably hard to see it from here. Yeah, USA East Wing. So I mean, it's kind of broke, but I have few of them, few different hammers that I always carry, depending on which toolbox I got with me. I have one or another. I'm gonna bring the drywall. While my customer brought the drywall, and one of the sheets fell on me because of the wind, and it reminded me of one story. So I had one customer, actually, when I just started streaming on my channel. It was the very first project that I filmed, and it was basement refinishing. So the story behind it is that the actual guy started that basement project. It was basement refinishing. So he started it, and then while he was working with one wall, the drywall sheet went down and tore his whole knee from the back. And I can only imagine it's a terrible thing to happen. And I think he had like 3 kids, the customer said, and he was off from work for 9 months. He went through surgery. He even had to, she said that he had to sell his house because he needed money for that period of time for his family to live, and he haven't had saved enough to have another option. So it was terrible to know, but I was the one who came and then finished that whole project. And it was everything over there. Like, he haven't finished some of the framing. I don't know why he started the drywall, why everything wasn't quite finished. But Then we installed the drywall. Then we installed vinyl plank flooring all over the place. I also did the bathroom. In the bathroom I installed glass doors, installed the tile, and I actually live streamed that whole thing. I think it was when I lived in Ohio last last 6 years, five and a half years I lived in Ohio. So that project was located there. But now I relocated and I live in Tennessee Tri-Cities, Johnson City, Bristol, and Kingsport. So it's usually 3 different cities that are close to one another, and usually most of my work is in Johnson City or Kingsport. Some of it in Bristol, but not a lot. So okay. And he had one sheet that I assumed he got like damaged and maybe got a discount on it. It's usually the one that sits on the bottom of the pallet while they are lifting it. They have that sheet at the very bottom, and then when they lift it, it breaks. So I'll be using it less, maybe. Maybe. Anyways, I wanna have a nice and straight line for the top, so I won't have the beveled edge, the factory seam, and the sides needs to be straight. So I will end up using, I don't want to tape the corners because it will ruin the whole, like the texture and everything. I'll just run it, I'll make it as tight as possible, and I'll run the bit of Dynaflex white exterior caulking, so it will create a film, and then it will just expand. So I've done it quite a few times, and I want to just show you something. So this is the piece of baseboard, pretty much it's like 1x4 pine, and it has shoe molding. I installed that shoe molding, and then I ran the bit of the Dynaflex white caulking, and it has some 18 gauge nail hole in it, but I think I should be able to pull it. Yep, that nail. So now it's supported just by the caulking, and I just want to show you how nice. I love finding treasure when I remodel. It's an old Eastern hammer. Yeah, I like it too. That's cool. Ouch. Are you Serbian? No, I'm not Serbian. I'm originally from Ukraine. So this is, you see that piece I put the Dynaflex on the top of it, and it's still holding after I removed it, and that thing can stretch. Let me show you. So you pull it, you see, and it's not breaking. It can stretch a lot. So if you have movement, it will hide that movement, and better than any paper tape. Paper tape will just break if there is any problems, anything in the house that was done wrong, and expansion, contraction can just break it. But that thing is better than the tape. So here it is. You see, I'm pulling. I don't know how much you see. It's like 1/4 inch, and it's not. And then only after it tends to break. So pretty nice caulking. Yes, I would cut the bevel of the drywall, then caulk to the top. Hopefully the ceiling is level. Uh, no, ceiling is not level. I can see that it's like sagging at the center. Uh, I'll have to I'll have to do a few marks, and then I probably will have to put few marks on the bottom, like at the center, so then I know where my first piece is gonna go. Then I'll cut the top a little bigger, and then I'll bring it up, and then I'll use a that washer trick. So I'll just put the pencil in the washer, and I'll just trace the ceiling. So then I have the nice curve like that ceiling. So I'll cut it, and then it should give me less of a gap. So we'll see. Yeah, this is what's gonna happen with this wall. I also, by the way, like on the back, right behind, there is a kitchen. Like one side is a kitchen, and there is another cabinetry. And I also put so this large format tile. I installed this large format tile here. So there was no backsplash at all. It was just painted, and that section right there also. So yeah, I did quite a few things in this house. Also installed quite a few closet doors. The guy that's measured, uh, guy that measured and did the whole house here, he didn't put any closet doors because he framed the opening without, I don't know, without understanding what size is the standard closet door. So what he did, he just said he just left everything without the doors, closet doors, and he said, never mind. Like sometimes people they want to put like a dresser in there. So when you have no door, it's even more convenient. So he left it like that, and pretty much no closet. And he, believe it or not, uh, like on the first floor there is a half bath, and he installed bifold door that usually designed to be installed in a closet. He installed it in the bathroom. It's the first time I saw somebody install the bifold door for a bathroom where you have a toilet and stuff. So you can't even, like, it wasn't even fully closed. Like you can't even lock yourself. So it was funny. I don't know like what was behind it. I think he got first door and he figured that it doesn't fit the opening, and he just like, okay, I'm just gonna put it inside the bathroom, so then it will look like it was meant to be that way. It was quite funny. So that's it. uh, yeah, it's pretty cold. Like they dropped the heating down to 50. And hi Jackie and Soya, hi. Thank you Face 13 store for 6-7. Thank you guys like this live stream, please double tap the screen to give it a like, and also there is a subscribe button, white button on the top. Also don't forget to press it so you can see how this wall will look like at the very end, when it's all drywalled, finished, taped, and the opening is cased and jammed. So it will look nice. The only thing I would suggest for them is to, I mean, over here, and I could have actually used those holes to run the power from the electrical box. I mean, to tie into the actual connection. So then it's easy to connect it here and there. And we talked with the customer, but I'm not quite sure that they don't want to spend extra money on that, since they're gonna be selling this house and somebody else gonna leave. And the owner, he can do some stuff with his hands, so it might be something that maybe he would want to do. But we agreed that they will put the smart switch themselves in this wall, and they will switch this one to smart switch, and it will be no problems whatsoever. uh, i I really like this. It's my favorite. I think you can see it's visible, and I don't know, it's not perpendicular to the room. Nothing is parallel. So when I look at that, as a guy who spent most time doing tile work, I just don't quite understand. And you see that the gaps. So it's just funny. Hi, George Cabestany. Hi, thank you for joining. Uh, Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Yeah. But these people, they said they are okay with style, so I don't know. I wish everyone would have such a nice customers that would like stuff like that, because sometimes you do the best work, and some people that are picky, they might say, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" I feel anxious when I look at that uh, sheet of drywall or something, and then uh, they can't live normal life if it's not perfectly perfect. So even though many people consider myself a perfectionist, so before that I used to do everything perfectly perfect. But when I moved to United States, there is a different standard to everything, and you don't have to go that crazy as people they go in Europe, because in Europe it's like people they are much oriented on the like visual aspect and make sure everything is looks nice and perfect. For that stuff, like the style or something, uh, person won't be paid, and I think they would even charge him to buy new tile, and they will hire somebody to redo the tile if it was somewhere in Europe. But here people they worry less about all that stuff, which is good from one standpoint, and it's also not good from a certain angle. Let me know where you're watching from, which country, which state. If it's United States, I do this kind of work in Tri-Cities, Tennessee. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Press that subscribe button on the top and double tap the screen for me to give it a like as well. Thank you everyone for joining, for staying tuned. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, chat room, and Luca. Peace be. Thank you, Uncommon Woman. I appreciate you and your support, and have a nice night. What time will we start stream tomorrow? Oh, it's hard to say. Sometimes it depends on how stuff is going and how much prep I need to do, because sometimes if it's something that not that interesting to watch, I don't film it, and most likely it'll be around 3 o'clock. So we'll see you then. Let's agree on 3 for now. And I'm also gonna be wrapping for today. So if you guys want to give it a like, please give it a like, and also subscribe. There is a subscribe button on the top, so you won't skip the tomorrow stream when I will be finishing this wall, and it's gonna look just great. Okay. Thank you for joining, everyone, and for staying tuned. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Press that subscribe button on the top, and give it a like as well, so then tomorrow you can see me do the finishing on this wall and drywall. Whoa. My phone just fell, as you were able to hear, but it is tough. But it is tough. It won't break. Just have that huge thought with the tools that flipped that whole thing over. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining, everyone. Give this live stream a like by double tapping the screen and consider subscribing to the channel. Press that subscribe button on the top so you won't skip the tomorrow's live stream as well about finishing this wall and also casing that opening for that laundry room, so it will be a separate space. I will also finish this wall, paint it, and I'll put the baseboard and shoe molding so it will look like the rest of the room and it will be kind of separated from the eye. That's it. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Guys, thank you everyone for staying with me. For today, this live stream is finished, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next step of finishing this wall with drywall, taping, and then using the casing material and gem material to finish the opening. Thank you everyone for staying tuned, and have a blessed night. Bye.